Greetings, welcome to Facts About Everything. I'm your host, James Egan. Although I've talked about the Pokemon game and Pokemon Go, I have not talked about the animated series, Pokemon. At the end of each episode, there is a jingle called the Poke Rap.
Electro, Diglett, Nidoran, Mankey, Venusaur, Rattata, Pharaoh, Pidgey, King, Jolteon, Dragonite, Ghastly, Ponyta, Vaporeon, Poliwrath, Butterfree.
Some Christian groups claim that if this rap is heard backwards, you can hear the words, "I love you, Satan." This is not true. Probably. And that is the first of 100 facts about Pokemon. Let's dive in. In the original series, Brock and James were voiced by the same actor, and Missy and Jessie are voiced by the same actress. All the doctors are named after trees: oak, elm, birch, and so forth. Humans eat Pokemon. In the pilot, Ash saw a mysterious bird. It was later revealed to be a legendary Pokemon called Ho-Oh. When he tells Professor Oak that he saw the bird, Oak says, "Don't talk nonsense. Ho-Oh can only be seen by a pure-hearted trainer." In Japan, Ash is called Satoshi. The first Pokemon that Ash catches is Caterpie. In Japan, Ash's nemesis is called Shigeru. He is named after Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of Super Mario, Donkey Kong, and the Legend of Zelda series. In the Pokemon universe, most Pokemon could only say their name. In the animated show, human language came about when humans imitated Pokemon battle cries. Humans were eventually taught a structured language from the Pokemon Unknown. Mew was the first Pokemon ever. She was discovered in South America. Ash won his first 2 badges without defeating the gym leaders. The show was heavily inspired by the Japanese TV series Ultraman. Mew was the only Pokemon not to feature in the Poke Rap. Brock's surname is Harrison. Is it? Huh. Brock often eats rice balls. However, Japan worried that Americans wouldn't know what a rice ball was, so they called it a jelly-filled donut, even though it looks nothing like a donut. This was more confusing for me, because in Europe, we call what you call jelly, we call jam. And what we call jelly, you call jello. It's very confusing. Although Pikachu is the main Pokemon of the show, he wasn't popular in the video game until the series premiered. Originally, the main Pokemon was going to be Clefairy. Pikachu was chosen because, quote, he was more yellow. In the episode Ash Catches a Pokemon, Ash sees a Pidgeotto eating a worm. This was the first time a non-Pokemon animal was seen in the show. When the director, Masamitsu Hidaka, was told the show would be aired worldwide, he decided to remove Brock from the series because he was worried that his appearance would be offensive due to looking like a stereotypical Asian. However, when he was replaced in the show, fans went berserk and demanded that Brock return. Shortly after, Masamitsu agreed to bring back the character. He said that he didn't receive a single complaint about Brock's appearance. This is the longest running show ever based on a video game. Okay, you knew this one was coming. This is the most infamous fact about the show. In 1997, the episode Electric Soldier Porygon caused 700 children in Japan to suffer seizures due to a scene with flashing lights. Although the scene had nothing to do with the Pokemon Porygon, he never appeared in any episodes out of respect. The show has a Guinness World Record for the most seizures caused by a TV show. They must be so proud. The Team Rocket members are called Jesse and James. They're named after the outlaw, Jesse James. There are other Team Rocket members called Butch and Cassidy. Wonder who they're named after. Team Rocket's leader is called Giovanni. Misty's surname is Waterflower. The episode Tentacool and Tentacruel stopped airing after the 9/11 attacks due to scenes of skyscrapers being attacked. In Japan, Jesse is called Musashi. James is called Kojiro. A mysterious Pokeball was introduced in the show called the GS Ball. It was never revealed what was inside. I always assumed that was to do with Giovanni, like his surname began with S, but apparently it had to do with the gold and silver something, I don't know. Some of the sound effects on the show are from Star Trek: The Next Generation. In America, the show debuted a month before the game was released. Ash's surname is Ketchum. This is a reference to the show's catchphrase, never noticed that. Despite the show clearly being Japanese, it was always more focused on the American audience over any other. The show was banned in Turkey for several years. Ash is 10 years old. Okay, he's clearly not 10. You big liar. Bulbasaur's name in Japanese translates into, "Isn't it strange?" In Japan, Haunter is called Ghost. In Japan, Drowsy is called Sleeper. Most of the Pokemon roars and growls are from Godzilla movies. Meowth is the second most recurring Pokemon on the show. Although Wobbuffet wasn't introduced for a few years, he appeared more than any other Pokemon apart from Pikachu and Meowth. Meowth is never seen in a Pokeball. The third gym leader Ash faces is Lieutenant Surge. In Japan, he's called the Lightning American. In the intro, the first Pokemon seen is Mewtwo. Meowth is the only Pokemon to be a gym leader. The reason why Jessie has a distinctive hairstyle is because it allows her to make an R shape, when she stands a specific way. The R obviously stands for Rocket. The 8 original gym leaders are Brock, Misty, Lieutenant Surge, Erica, Sabrina, Koga, Blaine, and Giovanni. Several Pokemon in the Pokerap got mixed up. Geodude is called Graveler, and Poliwag is called Poliwrath. The show spawned a miniseries in 2013 called Pokemon Origins. It only ran for 4 episodes. Until 2002, all animation was hand-drawn. Ash's mother is called Delia. Delia only has one Pokemon, Mr. Mime, proving that she is evil. Delia was Professor Oak's student. The show had over 900 episodes. The show has only been nominated for 1 award, and it didn't win. Sarah Natochenny voices Ash in the English version. She played the character for over 450 episodes. Iku Otani plays Pikachu. Despite what many people believe, Pikachu doesn't just say Pika Pika randomly. He has a different sound for each person. Pikachu calls Ash Pika P, calls Misty Pikachu P, calls Brock Pikachu, and calls strangers P. Pikachu is the most well-known pop culture icon in the world apart from Mickey Mouse. Togepi was the first second-generation Pokemon to be named and owned on the show. Ho-Oh was seen in the first episode, but his name wasn't revealed until much later. At the time of his appearance, Ho-Oh's name hadn't even been created. Togepi was the first Pokemon not to be contained in a Pokeball. Some fans have suggested that Ho-Oh is Ash's father, in spite of the fact that Ho-Oh is, in fact, a bird. When the creator of the show heard of this theory, he burst out laughing, because he's a bird. Several episodes show multiple buildings collapsing. These episodes were never aired as they were supposed to premiere the same day an earthquake devastated Japan. Ash has used Team Rocket's main Pokemon several times. Although real animals do appear from time to time, the creator of the show said they only appear because the animators, quote, do not pay attention. Snorlax's Japanese name means sleep, snoring, rest. The show inspired a live show that toured North America in 2000. Every one of the original 150 Pokemon appear. In one episode, Ash turns into Pikachu. In Season 1, Episode 65, Gary says that he has over 200 Pokemon. At the time, there was only 151 catalog Pokemon. Pikachu was only in a Pokeball in the very first episode. Pikachu was quite chubby in the first few episodes. He was slimmed down later on. When Professor Oak was a student, his Pokemon of choice was Charmeleon. Professor Oak's grandson is Gary. His starter Pokemon was Squirtle. Despite what many people believe, the final boss of the original Pokemon video games is not called Gary. When Gary shows off his badges, he has 10. This is 2 more than there should be possible, and only 3 of the badges are recognizable. Pikachu is the first non-Mega Evolved Pokemon to defeat a Mega Evolved Pokemon. In the original series, Ash and his mother were both voiced by the same person. Mew has the DNA of every Pokemon and can learn any attack. Brock has opened his eyes 3 times in the entire series. Well done? Okay, let's look at the first Pokemon movie, which is called Pokemon, the first movie. Pokemon, the first movie, came out in 1998. This film had the highest grossing opening for an animated film in history. It held that record for 2 weeks. Since Mewtwo is psychic, he doesn't speak since he can project his thoughts into people's minds. The animators were relieved by this idea since they had great difficulty matching up the lip movements of each character when they spoke.
I see now that the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It is what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are.
In the Japanese version, Mewtwo is perceived in a more sympathetic light since he sees himself as an outsider who simply wants to belong in the world. In the American version, Mewtwo is just an evil tyrant who wishes to control the world. Dragonite has a purse. The director joked that he hoped this would make male purses come back in style. When did they go out of style? The opening scene shows Mewtwo killing scientists. This scene was removed from American cinemas for being too disturbing. The producers regret the decision. A narrator was included in the American version to explain the background of Pokemon, as some parents found the film too confusing to follow. The story was originally going to be the finale for the animated series. The main character makes a huge speech at the end explaining how fighting is wrong. Many fans found the speech illogical since the entire premise of Pokemon is to battle each other. The fighting is wrong speech is only in the American version. This film spawned over 20 sequels. Now let's look at the movie Pokemon Detective Pikachu. A petition was made to have Danny DeVito voice Pikachu. When Danny DeVito was asked himself if he was interested in playing the character, he said he had no idea what a Pokemon was. Since Super Mario Bros. Was basically the worst film ever, Nintendo said they would never allow a film adaptation of their work ever again. However, after seeing the absurd success of Pokemon Go, which in its prime was making Nintendo over $1 billion per day, they agreed to make a live-action adaptation of the Pokemon series. Over the last few years, you may have seen pictures like this of Pokemon. These are made by R.G. Palmer. The director stumbled upon this artwork and found it so impressive, he hired him for the movie. He is directly responsible for designing the Pokemon in Pokemon Detective Pikachu. The film is based on the 2016 game Detective Pikachu for the Nintendo 3DS. Ryan Reynolds voices Pikachu. Karen Sony also appears in the film. Both actors starred in Deadpool and Deadpool 2. Speaking of which, the film was nearly directed by Deadpool director Tim Miller. The crowd chants were recorded in 2018 in Nashville during the Pokemon World Championships. If this film does well, Nintendo are strongly considering making a Super Mario film, possibly animated, and a Legend of Zelda TV series for Netflix. So everyone watch this movie 47 times, please. And the final fact is, in the live-action Pokemon film, Professor Oak was supposed to be played by Robin Williams.
Did you bring me here, and all of a sudden you're walking out on me? I don't think so. Not right now. You're getting your wishes, so sit down!
It was the role he desired to play more than anything in the world. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Before Pokemon Detective Pikachu comes out, I'll be doing another Pokemon video talking about the video game series. So look out for that in the future. Let me know if there's any other animated series or video game series you want me to talk about, and I'll upload a video as soon as possible. To learn more facts, check out my books. They're available on Amazon on paperback and Kindle. Thanks for watching. See you again.